Today we have 11 of the 3-pack Micro Machine series from 1996. That's 33 Star Wars ships, vessels, space stations, etc. that have been in their original boxes for almost 30 years. In just a moment, I'm going to unbox them all with natural sound only. After the unboxing, I'll look at each one of these individually, get some extreme close-ups, and talk about what I think about them. If you want to jump straight to the unboxing, skip to the timestamp below. In the meantime, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'm doing a giveaway with this one. If you subscribe to this channel and like the video, you are eligible to win this unopened pack of Star Wars Micro Machines from the Epic Collections release Jedi Search. This was number 2 in the Epic Collection series, and the vehicles and characters are from Volume 1 of the Jedi Academy trilogy. This is Jedi Search by Kevin J. Anderson. I do have another copy of this, and I'll unbox the 3 sets from Epic Collections in another video, and I'll announce the winner of the giveaway then as well. All right, I can't believe I'm about to open up these Micro Machines that I've had for so long, but let's just get to it. Let's just open them already. Okay, it is time to get some really good close-ups of these Micro Machines vehicles and space stations, etc. I don't want this video to go too long now that we've done all this unboxing. But let's talk about this first set. TIE Interceptor, Imperial Star Destroyer, and the Rebel Blockade Runner. Getting them out of the box, I mean, I feel like now that I'm taking all of these out of the box, that the best way to display them really is inside the box. You can see the TIE Interceptor just deformed. I mean, I think that's just Micro Machines in general. I don't know that I've ever gotten any TIE Fighter or X-Wing that didn't have some sort of bend in the wings or in the S-foils or anything like that. So they're I mean, they're not supposed to be like incredibly detailed and complex models. They're really inexpensive toys, but still, they're a little bit wonky. The TIE Interceptor is. Star Destroyer, I've had trouble with some of them trying to get the stands to work with them right, but the Star Destroyer does look good. I mean, there is a messed up part on the bottom where the plastic just kind of looks like it was melted into like a smooth deformation there. The Rebel Blockade Runner, awesome. I like the look of it. It looks a lot better on the package than it does in real life, but I still love that ship. And I may do some comparisons to some of the newer Micro Machines at some point. I don't have time for it in this video. Moving on to set number 2, we've got the Land Speeder with a Luke inside of it. And it looks pretty decent. You know, when getting those details, you can tell that obviously there's not too much detail in the micro fig that's inside there, but it is still a cool little thing to have. The Millennium Falcon looks, you know, good. It looks about as good as any of the ships can look. Some of them obviously look way better than others. The Millennium Falcon, I think, does pretty good compared with the others. The Jawa Sandcrawler, probably one of my favorite Micro Machines ever. I have this, and then of course we bought a newer one whenever Micro Machines re-released some stuff in the Disney era. But the Jawa Sandcrawler, very cool. I love the treads on it. Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, probably one of the best looking of the TIE Fighter Micro Machines that I have. It's not quite as bent or wonky. The Y-wing starfighter looks really good compared to some of the other starfighters. The X-wing, we've got some issues with the X-wing. And I don't know really if it's just because they've been in the box for that long, but I really do feel like a lot of the Micro Machines, you buy newer ones. Like I've got a Poe Dameron Open that I gave to my son a few years back that we just bought for him, and it was out of the box kind of wonky like that too. Moving on to set number 4. This is probably one of my favorite finds. They have re-released a bunch of stuff over the years. I don't know that I've seen the Imperial Probe Droid, or in this case as it's labeled, the Imperial Probe Bot, in a Micro Machine set that we've had. I love the look of the legs on it. It was kind of hard to get the stand on, but once I got it on there, it displayed pretty well with that. This is one of the first walkers that I've actually been able to get to stand up. Even the 4-leg walkers like the AT-AT have a hard time standing them up in Micro Machine form sometimes. But this one looks pretty good and displays well. The Snow Speeder, I think the paint and the colors look a lot better on the packaging than they do in this actual Micro Machine, but it's still fun to have. Set number 5, we got the Rebel Transport. This one I think looks really good on display. TIE Bomber, it's another one of those kind of wonky starfighters. And then this AT-ST Chicken Walker, it took me forever to get it to stand up, but I finally did, and it worked. It was really askew coming out of the box. The legs were just all kinds of wrong, but I played with it a little bit, bent it into shape, and it worked. Set number 6, the Escort Frigate. This one's really bent down I guess the spine of the ship. It doesn't have the best look to it, but it's something. This is the only one I have. I don't know that I have any newer Micro Machines like this. So some of these, I don't know if they're rare or not. I just know that whenever they re-released them under the Disney era and we bought a bunch for my son, that they didn't have some of them, or at least we didn't find some of them, things like this. Boba Fett Slave 1, this is one that we've got newer too. This one, I wish that they actually had a way to display it in both positions, but I've kind of played with it there to kind of get a look at it from the other angle, at least. But it looks good, and maybe, like I said, one day I'll do a comparison of some of the Slave 1 ships from Micro Machines, the old one like this, and then a newer one, and perhaps maybe some Hot Wheels or something. Bespin Twin Pod Cloud Car, I like the look of this. Again, this is another one that has much more detail on the pictures on the back of the packaging, but I do love the look of it. Set number 7, the Mon Calamari Star Cruiser. I like this one. This is another one of those paint jobs is a little bit different than it is on the packaging. It's much more brilliant on the packaging. I like the look of it still though, and it's not something that I have a bunch of. Jabba's Desert Sail Barge, really like this. I love having this in a Micro Machine form, and I just think it looks good. Speeder bike with Rebel Pilot. I think it's maybe Leia, but it just says Rebel Pilot on the packaging. This one looks pretty good. Some of these speeder bikes I had a hard time getting to stay on the stand. They would fall off. The speeder bike with the Imperial Pilot and set number 8 now. This one I think probably looks as good as the Rebel Pilot in detail. It might look a little bit better, I don't know. But one of my favorite Micro Machines that I unboxed today is this Imperial Shuttle Tidarium. I think it looks pretty good in Micro Machine form and will display pretty well. But then moving on, we've got another TIE Starfighter with the wonky wings and just misshapen and just doesn't look the best. Set number 9, Super Star Destroyer. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I even had this. I didn't even know that I had this one when I was going through it, and I realized that there was a Super Star Destroyer Micro Machine. I just don't remember there being one of those back in the 90s, but obviously there was. And the B-Wing Starfighter looks pretty good. It's a little bit wonky, but not quite as bad as some of the others, some of the other Starfighters. And of course the A-Wing Starfighter is really good. Paint job is a little, again, off from the box, but it does look good. I think the mold looks pretty good. All right, the Incom T16 Skyhopper. We're in set number 10 now. This is a really cool set. It's probably a contender for my favorite set of these Micro Machines. This looks good. The decal on it looks good. Moving on to the Lars family land speeder. Not something, I mean, this is another one of those background ships that you see obviously in the movie, and it's classic Star Wars, because I mean, we're going right back to the first one, the Lars family land speeder. It looks great. And then one of the coolest Micro Machines unboxed today, that Death Star 2. It looks great. You know, in the package, it actually doesn't look the best, and I don't think it necessarily looks the best. It's big, it's heavy compared to the other Micro Machines, but whenever I get the macro lens on it and look at it, I love it. And the same is going to be true for the next set. Set 11 is a really cool set. We've got this escape pod. I love the look of the escape pod. I think there's good detail on that. This is another really good set. Mon Calamari Rebel Cruiser. So this one's okay. I mean, it's good to have it, but the highlight for me is the Bespin Cloud City Micro Machine. This is another one of those cool big structures that's now a Micro Machine, and it just looks really interesting. I love the look of it, and kind of like the Death Star 2, it's big and round, and they're able to put, I guess, a little bit more detail into it just because of the size compared to some of the others. But it's really amazing how they put some of the detail into any of them. This is my favorite. This is my favorite of the vehicles / space stations or / cities that I unboxed. Bespin is number 1, and I guess the number 1 set is going to be set number 10 with the Skyhopper, the Land Speeder, and Death Star 2. So these are really cool. I really enjoy now that I've unboxed them. I didn't think that I would. I do kind of wish that I had another set in box, because I think that they all really kind of look better in box with that packaging, that retro 90s packaging. But these are fun, and I know that my kids are going to enjoy playing with some of them. Some of the better looking ones I may end up displaying for a little bit on a small shelf in my office or at home somewhere. And I am excited to see what's going to be in the next set, which is going to be, we're going to unbox in the next video all of the Epic Collections novels. I've got 3 of those, sets 1, 2, and 3. And again, like and subscribe to this video for a chance to win set number 2, which is based on Jedi Search by Kevin J. Anderson. And that will be in the next video. I'll announce the winner of that. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.